When Teresa and I moved to RiverPark in the summer of 2022, about the only things we really knew about the place was that it was pretty. The weather was amazing, the people were uniformly pleasant. This is Oxnard, a channel dedicated to the things I love about the Oxnard Plain. And as a confirmed nerd, I always have questions. So here are 5 questions I asked and 5 things I've learned about RiverPark since 2022. I think they're factually correct, but I've been wrong before. If I get something badly wrong, just leave a comment and I will attempt to amend it. Ready? Okay, here we go. Thing number 1, the timeline for RiverPark is crazy. Way back in 1986, the city approved the Oxnard Town Center specific plan. The plan proposed a $500 million, 265-acre office center, the largest in Ventura County to be known as Oxnard Town Center, in the area east of the Santa Clara River and north of the 101. One large Class A 6-story office building was completed in 1990. Then the project stalled and the developer stopped making payments on the bond that paid for roads and sewer construction. In 1995, the city of Oxnard, facing multiple crises at once, was seeking $9 million from the developer for breach of contract, but the money vaporized when Oxnard Town Center Inc. went bankrupt. With everything dark and terrible, the city found a partner in a company called Sargent Town Planning in Pasadena, who worked with them strategizing how to rescue the project, and together they formulated something called the Vision for a More Livable Community. This led to the RiverPark specific plan, which was approved in 2002, with construction starting in 2004. It was an integrated plan with architecture that reflected the history of the Gold Coast region and walkable neighborhoods. Thing number 2, while we're on the subject, walkability. Having a walking and bicycle-friendly environment was actually a big priority for the designers. The major trails and parks were all in the original plan. The community designers obviously put a lot of thought into the walking distances within RiverPark, as you can see here from the concentric circles, centered on the fountain, East Park, and the original town square area that was eliminated from construction. The red circles represent a quarter-mile radius from the landmark, and the blue circles are a half-mile radius. Even if you live all the way up on the Xanadu Way, you're still just a half-mile walk to Central Park, and less than a quarter-mile to Crescent Park. From where Teresa and I live, in a 10 or 15-minute walk, we can be at any of the restaurants in the collection, have a meal, walk home, never have to get in the car, which is indeed one of the goals Sargent Town Planning always seems to strive toward. Thing number 3, the plan for the collection was quite different from what was built. Everything south of Forest Park would have been unrecognizable from what we know today. The entrance to the shopping area would have been a park, envisioned as a town square. There would have been many more parking lots, and 3 large parcels might have become office buildings instead of the Panorama and Tempo apartments, and the Pointe apartments, going up just west of the collection. The Pointe looks interesting, by the way. It's a Shea Homes development echoing the success the company has had with its other apartment communities in Southern California. I especially love the renderings with the canted roofs and the floor-to-ceiling windows. Thing number 4, the basins have names. This is the Brigham Vickers Water Storage Recharge Basin, also named Lake Lisa by local resident Rob Rohde in honor of his wife. This is the large Woolsey Water Storage Recharge Basin, the one Teresa and I ironically call the Small Basin. As near as I can tell, they are owned by the Ventura County Public Works Agency Watershed Protection Division. But what are these 2 basins and why are they here? This one is called the South Detention Basin, and this one is the North Detention Basin. The way they work is that the surrounding areas drain into one of the 2 detention basins, which then drain into the river. The whole system is designed using best management practices for flood control and groundwater reclamation, which are referred to as BMPs in the document. The 2 basins are designed to be able to deal with a 10-year flood event, and in my decidedly non-expert opinion, considering the wet winters of 23 and 24, they have performed that task amazingly well. But there's another BMP twist to this, Have you ever wondered, when walking on the trail, why the sidewalk is lower between the shallow, dry swale and the big, deep recharge basin? Let's get really nerdy. The proper name for this structure is an overflow outlet weir. Its purpose is to keep the area safe during a 100-year flood event. When the north and south detention basins fill, they will overflow across those depressions into the big detention basins. From the plan, the combined storage volume of the water storage recharge basins is slightly larger than a 100-year storm event from all the on-site and off-site tributary drainage areas. Thing number 5. The eclectic mix of architectural styles in RiverPark is anything but an accident. The plan identified 8 different architectural styles as representative of the whole region, and the developer adopted them as a framework. Now, I'm not going to wade into the argument that putting elevation facades mimicking certain residential styles is nothing but fakery and artistic sellout. A future episode of Oxnard will involve a deeper dive into this part of RiverPark history. But for now, I'll just note 2 things. 1, we need more housing stock here on the plain. Since we also love the open land here, we're going to have to build wisely. 2, there's a reason these architectural styles have persisted. People like them. That said, let's note a few of the 12 guidelines the plan put forth for the design. First, they wanted varied roof lines and pitches and elevations that provided interest to the eye. Second, they told developers to avoid putting identical elevations next to each other. Third, they had some very concrete ideas about garages. Except for the larger single-family neighborhoods, garages do not face the street the residence is oriented towards, and in all cases, the garages are set back from the face of the structure. A nice touch, I think. So, there you have it. 5 things I didn't know about RiverPark before I did a little research on the web. Hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed digging around for it.